So did you know that NASA is planning to send people to the moon in 2024?
I did.
So I'm not sure. I did when you asked me about it because I had a look, but I'm not sure if I'd heard about it before. If I had,
No, honestly, I did not know until you reached out to me, right?
Yeah, I read about that.
I only knew that because I caught one of your previous videos.
No.
And I gave my students videos of the NASA, and I showed them things that I learned over there, and they were very, very, very surprised because sometimes they see like the space or things about the space too far from reality.
So I heard a similar plan to that, to actually put them on the moon and then microwave them down, but you'd have to have a massive track around the Earth that follows the orbit of the moon. But apparently there was some hypothetical figure of like $20 trillion or 200 trillion, I forget. But apparently it's the same amount of money that's spent on oil exploration in 3 years or something like that.
So maybe in the last 20 years recently that you've really been seeing that move where you got women CEOs, women actually been in the forefront of not just being an afterthought as one of the astronauts, right? Maybe being the lead scientist in one of the missions, right? Or one of the lead doctors there. So, and it's only really been one when I really think about it. When you think about those crews, right? Even Challenger that blew up. I think I only remember one lady on there, Krista McCullough, that was on there. So I'm not shocked at that at all, that they only had one suit.
Elon Musk, have you heard anything about him and what he's been up to?
I don't follow that too closely. I've seen him on television a couple of times. Has he left the Earth yet? Or no, I don't know. I know he was planning to, but
how the universe was made. I think that's probably the biggest benefit, because I'm a big believer if we know, the more that we know about our existence, the better equipped we are to help us to stay in existence.
I remember being in these conference sessions and they were talking about basically colonizing the moon, right? And they were talking about like scientific papers about like how to create oxygen, how to extract water from moon rocks, how to like beam power using microwaves, different parts of the colony. And then there was also a lot of argument about like who owned what parts of the moon, right? Like heated arguments. And I was just volunteering, so I was just in the conference sessions, but I couldn't believe these people arguing about like this area of the moon is really theirs, right? They should get first claim to this part of the moon for whatever reason.
Like insurance money which we pay to find out if we can go to the moon, because out of that a lot of other innovations do come, just like from Elon's program of the Mars program. They are planning to have another project which will allow us to travel within the planet.
I think almost all the kids love things about space. They dream about being astronauts, and I think that they haven't gave them like sometimes they not enough information or tools to become astronauts.
It's got 4 legs. Theirs is more like a kind of spider with the legs on the corners of the cube. Or at least that's what they're trying to build. Mine is more like a dog. I've got it here actually. Open it, Mini Dog 2. Let's just put that there for the benefit of the video.
That is awesome.
So I think, yes, if it's as safe, like they would have to prove that to me, right? If it's as safe as traveling to and for as we do on the airplane, and we can go up and back at a decent interval, right? Yeah, I would, to go at least one time.
The beginning of the Industrial Revolution, say, well, God, what a waste of time. And it's polluting. It's using human industry for absolutely backward, abstract things. And come on now, put it into agriculture. Now, if you put it into farms, you're going to get crops. But what are all these machines, wheels? Give me a fucking break. What good is a wheel? I mean, really. It just takes money from the laboring man, in the guise of making work easier. It just takes jobs away from the working man. Trust me on this. The wheel is the tool of the devil. Communists too.
I think if you're a science, if you like that stuff, science and engineering, in general, you find space very interesting just because it's such an interesting area, right? Not just in actuality of engineering and so forth, but
So 65% of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, which is 1.6 billion people, just these three countries, cannot read their name in any language. So if they cannot read their name, they cannot read books, they cannot get educated in the way you can, they cannot have they can have original thoughts, but they don't know where to go and solve it. How do you solve problems? So my task is to get everyone skip the whole learning process of learning text, but jumping directly from learning text to learning to educate themselves using smartphones.
No, but I do have to say that it was so good seeing you.
Yeah, it's good seeing you too.
So